Welcome to the MPG podcast, where your host John Graybeal talks racing, driving, training, and cars with Team Stradale driver Jordan Missig. And now, here's John and Jordan.
Hello.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Angle it up a little bit better. I've been running around all day today. It's been crazy for me.
Well, September 24th, the MPG podcast, Missig Performance Group, John Graybill, Jordan Missig, live from the MPG studios at the Autobahn Country Club and the Crown Plaza in Fort Myers, Florida.
That sounds a lot better than where I'm at right now.
We are ready to kick this off. So, with a quick shot of White Monster.
Yes, indeed.
So my son, him and his buddy were here this weekend. They said, hey, we're going to go down and get a drink at the cafe. And they went down to get a drink. Next thing I know, I look outside, and they're both with a Monster drink. I'm pretty sure my son never had a Monster drink before. And I'm like, there's no way he's going to get through the whole thing. He's going to be like shaking, like crazy, jittery. No, they seemed to drink it all and just went out in the kart track.
So here's an interesting thought, and I don't know if many people know this, but Tom Bagley told me this. Like the Tom Bagley that we all know and love.
Yes, Tom Bagley,
he said
the historic, legendary IndyCar driver, coach at the Autobahn, yes.
He said if you have a shot of Monster or like a thing of Monster or any type of energy drink an hour before the race, it improves your performance.
Well,
how does it improve your performance? By attention span, basically. And it increases your attention span and focus level by like a little bit. That's what he says.
So before my son's math test, an hour before the math test, take a shot of Monster drink.
Well, it works in racing because, your body's always like moving an adrenaline rush. Well, you're thinking of so many things in the race car that are happening, and there's so many components going on at once. That's why it works with a race car and any other physical activity that's going on. It doesn't work when you're in the classroom or going to a math test because, you have to sit still, do a math test and focus. But when you're going through a race car and everything, it works because, you're constantly moving.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. That's great. That's good news. So you're getting ready to head out to wine country.
Yes.
And your parents, I think, have already left, right?
They've been there now. So they were there yesterday.
Got there yesterday. Okay. All right.
Yep.
That's awesome. And so you leave. So it's Tuesday today. When do you leave?
Yes. I leave at 6:50 tomorrow. I just got my boarding pass.
6:50 tomorrow?
Yes.
All right. So Southwest Airlines carrying you out there?
Yes, yours truly.
All right. Well, thank you. We do appreciate that. So tell us how's the preparation going, or what have you been doing here so far this week for preparing for the race?
For preparing for the race, well, this whole week, I should say, ever since since Sunday, Monday and Tuesday of this week have been just crazy for me. Since I'm in school currently right now, I'm dealing with college stuff, college homework, and college classes, and also other extracurricular activities going on in school. I've been having to deal with a bunch of other stuff at school. So I've been dealing with homework assignments, other classroom work, as well as trying to fit as much as I can in the simulator time as well. This day, just today alone, I have a math test that I have to study for tomorrow, math exam, a statistics exam to be exact. I had a website project that I have to actually physically code that was due Thursday, but I'm going to be at the track on Thursday, so I had to get it done today at school. I had some other literature stuff that had to get done today. And then yesterday, I had some documentary footage that I had to get done and some documentary stuff, as well as some broadcasting stuff that had to be done yesterday and kind of get everything ordered for this week on Thursday and Wednesday. So I did all that stuff today. Recently, just we got out of class in school around, I want to say 7 o'clock ish, and then I worked on another graphic till about 7:30. Went here, got some dinner at the gas station down the street a little bit, just grabbed some dinner, came back here, shoved the dinner down, and I'm now speaking with you here today. And now after this, I still have to go upstairs, pack, go back to my Shannon house, and then try to be on the simulator by 9:30.
Okay. Wow. I don't know what to say. Yesterday I swept out a trailer. That's what I did yesterday.
Yeah, so I've been up and going since 8 a.m. this morning. So I'm going on 12 hours right now.
Wow. That's crazy. So simulator practice. How much time do you trying to put in a simulator a day?
Try to put in the simulator a day. Me and my teammate, Louis Schreiber, we like to try to do at least 2 to 3 hours worth of sim time. 4 if possible, 4 if max. So we try to put 2 to 3 hours of sim time. We just kind of see, first off, the first session we go out, we try to do lap time wise, just see what we get down to our fastest lap with the baseline setup. Then the second hour, we try to do, one of us comes up with the setup. We just kind of come with some changes, and then we share the setup. So where we both run the exact same setup, but we have some changes to it. We both run it, critique each other, and see if we like it or not. See what kind of changes, collaborate a little bit, see what we want to make changes to the car, whether it's camber, tow, pressures, or like preload in the car. So we do all that, and then we just kind of go back and forth with setup changes for like maybe an hour and a half. And then our final hour was kind of just, I wouldn't say a mess around session for us, but what we do is just kind of go out together and just kind of run around each other and try to race each other a little bit. So we either pass each other, just running in line, see if the draft works, and see where some prime passing zones are.
So, so he's practicing his own simulator, like at his house or his place. Is that?
Yes. He's on his own simulator at his house, where I'm on the own simulator at my house. Yes.
Okay, and so you guys can meet up using iRacing. You guys can meet up and just share the track just between you and him.
Correct. Yes, for about maybe $2 for a 4-hour session. We could pay $2, and then we could just have a hosted session where it's literally just me and him in a session of our own.
Oh wow, that's pretty incredible. And what are the initial setups, the different setups that you try?
There's a different baseline setup. There's an iRacing. iRacing comes out with 3 basic setups, which are very baseline, kind of stock with the car. There's low downforce setup, medium downforce setup, and high downforce setup. We can choose between 1 and 3 on which one we feel is more comfortable to the car, which one we feel is more stable. This time around, we kind of had to do some setup changes compared to other tracks that we've been to. So this time around, it's been pretty it's getting in our heads a little bit, kind of aggravating us a little bit of what the right setup is. But we've been relaying this information that we've been getting on the simulator and relaying it back to our mechanics and our engineers. And then they're kind of making a thought process of what they want to try to do with the car, and they've been studying the track as well. So, everyone's doing their own parts, everyone's doing their jobs, and we're all just trying to butt heads, brainstorm a little bit to find out what the right setup is for us when we get to the track there on Thursday and Friday.
So initially you're looking at different downforce. So are you guys working on tire pressures too, tire pressure changes or anything like that yet? Or is that more in the real car?
We were more with tire pressure changes. We kind of start low to start off, and then maybe we'll try to work our way up a little bit to see where we start at hot pressures as well. And we'll try to implement our actual pressures in that we use in the actual cars as well to see if that works. But, also it varies with the time of day, temperature of the day. So everything varies in iRacing due to the dynamic weather. So, but everything's kind of up in the air until you get to the actual track. You can do as many simulations as you want. It doesn't cut it until you get to the actual track itself.
So, speaking of atmospheric conditions, what does iRacing do? Do you set your own, or does iRacing like have a barometer there at the track and they kind of use what is real for the day?
So iRacing has a default weather setup that you can do where it's like 72 degrees, sunny and everything. Picks the time of day. That's the default kind of setup that iRacing does weather-wise. You can have the option to go in and customize any weather conditions you want. So say we're racing on Sunday. Sunday's supposed to be cloudy with a high of 72 and a low of 47. We can go, if we look at our race time, let's see what time it is at. We could set the weather to cloudy. We could set it to what the temperature we think will be around race time, and then go from there. I mean, you could set everything right to the T based on weather-wise.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. Wow. So you'll get some good practice in tonight, and then headed into flying out of Midway.
Yep.
In the morning.
Good. 6:50 at night.
Oh, 6:50 at night. Okay, so after school.
Yes.
So yeah, you get okay. I leave Midway in the morning, so that's why 6:50. Oh, that's late for me. That's a late takeoff for me. So okay, so 6:50 in the evening. So you'll get out there, 3-hour flight. So you'll get out there around 7:30 ish, probably something like that. Is that 8 o'clock?
I think it's a 4-hour flight, so I think 6 probably get out there around 8. Yeah.
Yeah, so 8
o'clock.
About 8 o'clock.
Oakland time.
Yeah, so you fly into Oakland, and then how far away is the track from Oakland, from the airport?
I think it's about, from what I think, it's like 45 minutes to maybe an hour.
Okay.
Up north, so not too far from the track. But closest airport we can get into, either that or San Francisco.
Right. Yeah. Well, Oakland's better because it's across the. You don't have to deal with the bridge, I guess, going over there. And so, do you guys stay pretty close? Is the hotel pretty close to the track, or?
Yeah, I think the hotel is going to be very close. It's probably within 10 miles of the track, I'd say. So,
so
fairly close. It's going to be like a nice 5-minute drive, I'd say.
Oh, perfect.
To and from the track each way.
Perfect. So the schedule is you arrive tomorrow night, so that's Wednesday night.
Yes.
Thursday practice.
Thursday is technically load-in day for the Radical Cup Series, so our truck will be there around Thursday to unload the cars, while me and Louis Schreiber have gotten the opportunity from one of our driver coaches at Newman Walks Racing. He set us up with an opportunity for us to do a school at Sonoma on Thursday to go in like one of these little KTM cars, like the little open cockpit KTM cars that you probably see, the with the little wing open cockpits on the back. We get to go in those cars on Thursday and go for a couple laps around the track just to get used to it and see everything around the track. So we're kind of just using that as like our observation kind of laps, so we can kind of understand where everything is at the track, how the track's going to flow, what's the feeling like. So then once we jump into our radicals on Friday for practice, we already know what the track's like and we just get up and go.
So this KTM car, is that like, I'm not familiar, is that something kind of like a smaller radical or something?
Not quite. The Race of Champions, which is kind of like if you ever watch golf or tennis, it's like River or Laver Cup, which is where it's Team USA versus like the world or something like that. And they do racing with drivers. So they use these in the Race of Champions. They're like little open cockpit. They're like the Can-Am Spiders, kind of. If you ever seen like those Can-Am Spiders, those three-wheel tripod cars.
Yeah.
Except for 4 wheels, have a wing on the back, and it's like open cockpit.
Oh, interesting. Are they? Well, it sounds like fun.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a fun time to just kind of relax, do a track day, and kind of just see what we can do.
All right, cool. So that's Thursday. Friday is what are you doing Friday?
Official practice day. 4 practice sessions we have lined up for us. 2 of them are 45 minutes long, and 2 of them are 50 minutes long. So a lot of track time for us on Friday. Definitely going to be doing a lot of in and out of the pit road, doing a lot of setup changes. Might even be able to actually go out for a little session, maybe do 2 or 3 laps, bring it back in, take it to the garage, make a huge setup change, then go back out. So we got enough time to where we could possibly do that, and we rarely have time to do that.
Oh, wow. Okay. How long is the track at Sonoma?
Track at Sonoma is normally, I think it's going to be around 2.7 miles.
Okay. So what do you expect the lap times to be?
I'm expecting lap times to be upwards to minute 20 minutes, minute 27, minute 28, somewhere around there. Okay. I feel like.
All right. Awesome. And so that's practice day. And then Saturday.
Saturday we go into a qualifying in the morning, and then we have a race that afternoon.
Is there
qualifying around 9 a.m. and then a race I think around 2.
Okay, and how many is 2 races?
3. We have 3 races this weekend.
So 2 on Saturday and.
No, we just have 1 on Saturday and then we do 2 on Sunday.
Okay, 1 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. So from the time, do you usually have the car completely set up by the time?
Qualifying comes around, yes. By the time qualifying comes around and we get to the last practice, normally the car is pretty much dialed in. We kind of know what we want gear-wise, aerodynamic-wise, everything. The car's been really set up by then.
Okay. And on race day, is it just even the tire pressures are all done, or is that something that's changed at the last day?
We kind of changed it at the last minute. The thing with tire pressures is it's all depending on weather conditions. It could be either cloudy and it could be cold, and you got to change the tire pressures compared to that, or it could be sunny and hot, and you got to change the tire pressures to that. So whatever the weather is, we kind of will simulate in one of our practice sessions whatever's closest to qualifying. We'll simulate like a Q run. We'll throw like maybe some new tires on there, and then go out in a session and just kind of burn like 6, 7, 8 laps down, and then see what we can get setup wise, and then boom, that's our setup for qualifying. And then we'll throw like a race set out there, and then go kind of just try to make it like a race setup. So we're doing mock qualifying runs, mock race runs. We're trying to do all that just to kind of get a true identity and reading on what we're looking for in the race.
And how do the tires wear on that? Is that we use 3 sets of tires while you're out there, or was it?
We will use 2 sets of tires. We have 3 sets brought with us just in case a set does go down, because if a set does have like a puncture or something, or a set gets ruined in the middle of a race, we can allocate to 1 extra set of tires. And we may have to take a penalty depending on how severe like the switch is. Like if you had to switch 1 tire, you may need to take a penalty. But if you had to switch all 4, then I don't think you need to.
Okay, so yeah, so the spec type racing is limited. They try to limit that so a guy's not spending a gazillion amount of money right on tires to put on the car. So is that kind of the idea of that?
That, as well as they wanted to make it to where, after the 3rd race, by the time we get to the 3rd race, everyone's either used 2 sets of tires to where we're already going to be on worn tires at that point. It's either on worn tires, or you wasted 1 set for qualifying race 1 and race 2, and then you're going out race 3 on a new set. So everyone just kind of is on. It's kind of the strategy game is you can pick and choose when to put your tires on. You don't have to follow a specific order, but you at least just need to use 2 sets throughout the weekend when qualifying starts to end of race 3.
Okay, so there is a little bit of strategy in how you're going to go through your tires. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Well, and so Sunday, do you fly back Sunday, or do you come back on Monday?
No, we're going to come back on Monday, because Sunday it's weird because we have an 8 a.m. race time for race number 2 is 8 a.m. in the morning, and then our next race is at 3, and our flight's supposed to be at 6. So we're cutting it pretty close on time to get out of there, go back to the airport, and then get on our flight to come back here. So we decided to just wait it out till Monday morning and let us relax a little bit. That way we're not stressing out and making it to the airport after the race.
Right. So yeah, if you take off at 6:30, that's 8:30 our time, 4-hour flight, or I should say, 8:30 Central Time, so everybody knows where we are. 8:30 Central Time, so you're back at 12:30 at night. Yeah, so that's why the planes from the West Coast, the last flights of the day are usually a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, coming back. Okay, so back on Monday, and then will you head to class on Monday also?
I think I'm gonna take Monday off. I think I'm gonna be a little bit taken out over the weekend, and plus, by the time I get back on Monday, it's gonna be around 12 or 1-ish when I get back. So my classes are already done on Mondays around that time. So I think I'll just take it off. If I need to go in, I can go in, but I don't think there's no reason for me to on Monday.
Okay. All right. So, best of luck this weekend. We're traveling also. We have my son has a traveling kart race. So, we'll be checking with your progress on Saturday, and Facebook, Jordan Missig Racing.
Yes, you can either look up at Jordan Missig Racing on Facebook, or you can go to Team Stradale Racing on Facebook or Twitter or on Instagram to catch up on all the news that's going to be happening up with us over at Sonoma this weekend.
All right.
Well, also, you can also check out the Radical Cup Series page too, the Radical Cup North America page on Facebook as well.
Okay. And I think we talked a little bit about last week about live timing on
oh yes,
speed.
Live timing will probably be on Race Monitor, I think. It depends on where they put it. They always like to, go around with it. The last couple of races, they've been on Race Monitor, so I'm guessing it's going to be on Race Monitor this weekend too. But if it's not on Race Monitor, we'll have it posted on either Team Stradale or Jordan Missig Racing, on where you can find the live timing at. There will be a link in one of the posts.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, well, enjoy the flight out there. Best of luck. Make sure you have the Southwest app so you can watch the free TV and free Wi-Fi. And movies. They have free movies now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so that's probably what I'll be doing, is watching a movie on the plane.
So best of luck this weekend. I can't wait to catch up next week and hear all about the races and what happened in your 3 races this weekend.
Looking forward to it, John. Thank you as always.
All right. Thanks for being on the show.